How's it, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Gridiron Bangers here, giving our Week 5 predictions. Myself and we got Jake here. Again, another episode without Brayden. So just for today's video, we're just going to do me and Jake's predictions, but we will get Brayden's up in the Instagram and keep that prediction race going into this week. So we're just going to get right into it. We're also going to maybe incorporate a little bit of fantasy, maybe some start sits and some predictions. At least for ESPN, sleeper might be a little different, but at least in our league, we're using ESPN, so we'll go off of those numbers. Start us off, primetime Thursday, Bears Commanders. I think we had a unanimous on this one. I think even Brayden too. We had Commanders taking this one. It's going to be a home game. Bears, still arguably the worst team in the NFL. Kind of on the fence there, maybe, a few other teams. Giants looking really bad too, but they're pretty down there. This might be the tank year where right now they're looking at first and second picks, so could be seeing Caleb Williams maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, they're can't trust on the Bears. This might be the only team that I'm. It used to be the Cardinals, but this is a team that I'm like I can't bet on any week almost. But Commanders, I think they played good against the Eagles. Tough loss at the end. Got to give credit to the Eagles. They clutched it out, closed it out. Definitely shouldn't have been as close of a game, at least for the caliber of the team that the Eagles are. But I thought the Commanders played great. I think Sam Howell's been playing good football, throwing good ball. Did have a rough game against the Bills, but he bounced back last week, and I think it's a perfect matchup for him. Bears, I think the offense is going to be rolling. And for fantasy, I'm not sure. I do have Justin Fields. I don't know if this is a start. I don't know. What do you think? Because last week he did put up pretty good fantasy numbers. I mean, he threw one pick, but he still put up 25 plus. I'm on the fence. If you were me, what would you do with Fields?
I mean, I think I would start him. I mean, I know the Commanders. I have the Commanders winning too, but I don't think they're that great. They're good. This last week's performance was a great performance. Reason why I'm taking them, but I feel like Justin Fields can put up a good performance, and I mean when he does, he still loses. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I can see it happening.
Yeah, I don't know that those clutch moments proven he's not that guy. But yeah,
Oh,
I think should be a safe bet to see Commanders take this one. So they do have Justin Fields projected at 17.5. So we thinking that's a over or under on that?
I think over.
Over.
I
Okay.
think over.
I feel like this year the running has just dipped off. Like last year, we saw a huge dip, like a huge increase in the run, and that's where all the points were coming from was just rushing, and rushing touchdowns. But now they're like, they can't get anything going. He's not even running the ball hardly. Because last week it was all passing. He had the 4 passing touchdowns, and he like almost like a little over 300 yards, first 300-yard game. So I think he could go over. I'm just being on my team. I'm like, is the risk
Yeah,
worth it? Because I feel like that was just a fluke last week, especially against the Broncos too. After they gave up 70 to the Dolphins, it's like, I guess yeah, the Broncos are just giving up good offensive numbers to anybody nowadays. So
yeah. I think that was mainly the Broncos, but I think him and DJ Moore can put up a good fantasy
and
outing
yeah,
this
and
week.
Claypool, it's sounding like they're pretty much done with him too. Not that he was
Yeah,
really relevant, but
he's gone.
that might open up some even more targets for Moore and Mooney. So on the other side, they got Sam Howell at 16.3. He did put up, I think it was 19 against you guys. Yeah, 19.6. I think I think just because it's the Bears, I think he goes over. I think he could go 20 at least.
I think that sounds just right. 16, 16, and 20. I think they can actually run the ball, the Bears. So that's why I kind of
Mhm.
see that.
So I'd say if you're struggling at QB, Sam Howell could be a good start this week. And I do have Terry McLaurin as well. Surprisingly, they only have him at 13.2, but I feel like this has definitely got to be an over because he did put up. I think he gave 20. Oh, he had 22, no touchdowns though. 8 receptions, 80 yards.
He just does good against the Eagles, honestly. I attribute it to that, but he's a great receiver. But
You think he goes over 13? I mean, it's the Bears.
yeah, he should.
Okay.
He should. That's reasonable.
All right. All right, that'll wrap it up for Thursday. Back in London, another super early game. It's going to be like 4 in the morning, crack of dawn for you. We got
No Toy Story
Jaguars,
though.
Bills. Yeah, no Toy Story on this one. Jaguars, Bills. I'll let you take this one. I think we were unanimous on this one.
Yeah, I don't think it matters what country they're in. Bills are winning. But I mean, yeah, Jags played better last week. Maybe they're getting things on track. But his Bills team is just rolling, man. They bust up the Dolphins last week, and I think this continues. Maybe it's not as great or as polished of a game because maybe they're traveling and maybe their clocks are off, so might be a little bit off. But honestly, Bills are still going to take this. I don't think it really changes anything.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Fantasy, we'll start with the Bills. We got Josh Allen, 20.7.
Over.
Yeah, I think the over is there as well. Um, that's just, yeah, it came off of a great game against the Dolphins, and I think it's going to keep rolling. And on the other side, they got Trevor Lawrence at 15.
I'll say over. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm going to say, like, that's right about where I think he'll be. I mean, maybe like 14, 15, 16-ish, so I'm not going to say like a big over, but I
Yeah.
think that's like right about where he'll end up. Because I feel like we could see at least one interception, maybe 1 to 2 touchdowns. Yardage might be low. I feel like this game they need to get the run going. And let's get to the receivers. Let's go with you got Ridley, so this one
Oh,
affects you. They got Calvin Ridley at 12. I don't know. He's been
well,
struggling lately.
the whole Jags team. I'm just like, dude, come on. But
I mean,
I hope
it
it's
might have
over.
been that just like that first game, just that explosion from him. Like all eyes are on him now. I mean, he had the touchdown, so like that definitely helped his numbers that day. Because if not for the
I don't know.
touchdown, it would have been really quiet.
He's he's better than this. The
Yeah, no,
week
he
one
definitely
performance
is
he
better.
did, that
That's
is
what
more
we
like
should be
him.
seeing. Yeah, no, I agree. We should
Yeah,
be seeing that. But I don't know.
but his
It's weird
targets
because
just
like Christian Kirk has been getting way more targets and
yeah,
receptions, but the touchdowns are there for Ridley though. And then of course Zay Jones.
yeah.
I don't know. He always finds a way to just eat targets.
I don't know. I think maybe it's part of it is play calling that maybe it's not always going to him, but it's also I don't know. Maybe Trevor Lawrence is going back to his hit from last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it changes obviously because I need some points. It can't be
So I know
dropping
you
duds on
want
me.
him and you need him to go over 12. Do you think he
Do I
actually does
trust him
though?
to 12? Honestly, I think he gets to like 10 or something
I'd
in
say
that
that.
ball range.
Okay.
Nah, I don't. I hope he proves me wrong, but yeah,
Stephon Diggs, they got him at 18.
over. Sorry. I
Over.
mean, this
Yeah,
could be
no,
an
I get
under
it.
game because if they just don't, they just everybody just does their part and wins. He might be under, but
Yeah.
over. I'll take the over every week.
Yeah, no, Diggs has been playing great. I think he's definitely hearing the noise of, that matchup against Tyreek as well, and Tyreek saying that he's the best, and just hearing the noise of is Stephon Diggs, is he getting old and kind of irrelevant? So I definitely think, he's been playing his best football.
Diggs, yeah, he's been saving me in my other league. I mean, I got him and Keenan Allen in my other league, so I'm just balling over there.
Yeah, no, I think it's just all key skill players are start even for the Jags, like Etienne, T.
Yeah,
Law,
agreed.
Ridley, questionably Christian Kirk if you're, depending on how deep you are in your league and what you have
I
at
think
receiver.
he's a
I
must start.
I think
Yeah,
he is just based on the last 2 weeks.
two
He's
games.
had pretty decent numbers, no touchdowns, but like the targets are there for sure. So, well, he does have one touchdown, but the targets are definitely making up for the games that he didn't have touchdowns. Other than week one, week one was just abysmal. He had one reception, but yeah, that one's pretty straightforward. Got the Bills on that one, so we'll move to the next one. Saints Patriots. I think we both had the Patriots on this one. Um,
Yep.
I think after tough week, Mac Jones leaving the game, kind of just is getting beat down. No sense in having him play. Tough defense in the Cowboys. Um, I don't think the Patriots are you know too worried. I know that a lot of people are thinking Bailey Zapp might be taking over, but I don't think that's the case. I think either way, with Zappy or Mac, I still think they beat the Saints. Just home game. I think the defense is still solid, and the Saints are struggling. They struggled last week, even with Kamara back. Chris Olave has been kind of really quiet, and Michael Thomas is just another year where expectations are really high and just haven't hasn't lived up to it. So I do think the Patriots take this one. Um, Not a lot of big fantasy names here. Kamara, I think you do have Kamara. I think that's a must start. Kamara coming back, he looked great. He took all the receptions that game. That check down was going crazy for him. So I think it could be the same. I think Carr is going to get a lot of pressure, and Kamara is going to be the guy to bail him out. So I think you're looking good. He's at 16.9. I'll put him over 16. I think so. Just
Yeah,
with what we saw last week, and probably going to be a repeat of just check down, check down, check down Kamara.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. I mean, I know you hope so. I think so. I think it'll happen. Um, Derek Carr, I mean, I don't think he's like a. He's definitely on waivers in our league. In some deep, deep leagues, he might be starting, but I just. They got him predicted, let's see, 13.
I wouldn't even touch him. I mean,
Yeah,
I know he played
I
last
definitely
week.
don't think it's a like if you can help it, I wouldn't start. But there's got to be a deep league if Carr is your starter. One of them 32-man leagues. Those are crazy. But yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't. I don't think if you can help it, Carr's not a start. I think he goes maybe 10, 11. I don't see him going over 13. I think New England's defense is good enough to keep him down. Receivers, not a lot of big names on the Patriots. I can't see a lot of people unless you got Bourne maybe or Devontae Parker, but not a whole lot of names there. Even Juju is kind of irrelevant in fantasy. Chris Olave though I think is definitely a big name. A lot of people probably drafted him pretty early. Um, let's see where they got Olave. I know X has him in our league. Olave at 15.
I mean, I take the over just because I think they're gonna probably force feed it to him eventually.
He
Again,
was he was quiet last week. That might have just been Tampa Bay's defense. He had 6 targets, but only brought in one of them. Um, might have just been the overwhelming Tampa Bay. But then again, New England's defense, they're known for having a better defense than offense. They did just sign J.C. Jackson. I know Christian Gonzalez out for the year, or I'm not sure if he's out for the year, but definitely out. I think he was out for the year.
yeah.
But yeah, they just traded for J.C. Jackson. I know he's had pretty good tenure with them before he went to the Chargers, so I think he'll fit right in well. So I do like the secondary of the New England. I feel like this could be under, but like just barely, like maybe 13, 14, because they have them at 15. So I think it's just a little under. But I feel like it's still a good start though, because if you're drafting Olave where a lot of people drafted him, kind of hard to not start that. But we'll move to the next one. This is, I feel like, could be a good game. Titans Colts. I think we
Ooh.
both took the Colts on this one, so I'll let you take that one. Pretty sure we're
Yeah,
unanimous.
this was a tough one to choose. I mean, I think like both teams are on a good trajectory so far. Colts almost had to come back, last week, but I mean they fought, pried their way that close, so
Yeah, it was close.
it's definitely going to be competitive. But then the other side, just like Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry's just gonna
Yeah,
roll past them,
I will say, yeah, the Rams did at least in the first half. We had a good run game going. We were running the ball quite well, and then it kind of struggled second half.
Yeah, and that and division game, right? So anything could happen. So that's why I'm kind of iffy on this one, but I like what I'm seeing from the Colts as a whole team, not just Anthony Richardson. So
Oh
I'll
yeah, for
probably
sure.
stick with that.
Also potentially um,
Oh, Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor, because I know they had him on PUP IR and should be week 5 when he could be rolling back. And I think I don't know. I haven't really been tracking that injury. If it
We'll see if
was
he gives
real,
in.
if it was really even an injury, if it was just kind of fighting the trade. But if he is back, I definitely think that's bodes even better for the Colts. So,
Yeah, we'll see if he gives in or if he gets his wish and gets traded. See,
but we'll go some big name players here. Um, Anthony Richardson got him at 20.
over.
I think the
I'm
over is
taking
good
the
there.
over.
Yeah, I think he played his best passing game against the Rams. And that might have been the script, playing from behind at half, having to throw the ball, needing to throw the ball, not being able to just run um, to bail out. But the run is always going to be there. He had the rushing touchdown against us too as well. So I definitely think there's going to be a rushing touchdown. There's going to be a passing touchdown. And yeah, I could see big game for Richardson. Derrick Henry, surprisingly, they have him at 14. I thought it was going to be a little higher, maybe like 17, 18. Um, but they do
Take the
have him at
over.
14. I think the over is there. He just put up 24. I mean, it was against Cincinnati, but
I take the over. I
yeah,
feel
he's
like
had 2 games with 20 plus attempts. Yeah, he got stuffed against Cleveland, but I don't think Indiana's defense is at all
nah,
where
I feel like
Cleveland is.
he just always runs over his division. He might not win the game, but I mean, I feel like he normally just put up fantasy numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, don't think a lot of people are running Tannehill, so I'm not even worried about Tannehill. Um, can't think of too many other than Derrick Henry. A lot of Titans
Honestly,
players getting used.
I mean, yeah, if he had DeAndre Hopkins, but I mean, I feel like that's a
Maybe.
temporary expectations. Like if
I
you're
don't know. I
starting
feel
him,
like he's
he's
been
your flex.
quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't start him. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I agree. But we'll get to the next one. I think we had a little bit of
what's
split
this?
here. Ravens Steelers. So we'll break this one down. I know Braden's gonna have the Steelers for sure. Um, but I'm also going to take the Steelers. I think whether it's Pickett, I think there's talk that Pickett, at least he himself, expects to play. Whether Tomlin or the team is going to have him play, because I know just from the reports, he's practicing, but he's got a knee brace on. Just sounded like it was a bone bruise, nothing serious. Um, so he could play, but I think whether it's him or Trubisky, I think just coming off of that really tough loss to the Texans, um, being at home, I think the defense didn't step up, and T.J. Watt was really quiet. So I think this is going to be a bounce back game. T.J. Watt's going to get to Lamar, at least blow up the passing game, force Lamar to run, and hopefully we'll see a little more production out of whether if Pickett plays. I don't know. I still think Matt Canada needs to go, but just from what I've been hearing, they're sticking with him, which is crazy. I don't know why, but I think the Steelers will take this one. Just the circumstances and bouncing back from a tough loss against a rookie quarterback, and TJ was really quiet. So I think they're going to game plan a little better to get him more involved, because I definitely think that he was kind of shut out against the Texans. So they're going to find a way to get him more involved this game, because that's how they win games, is when he's making plays and disrupting,
Yeah.
getting to the quarterback.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's going to be a high chance that this could be an ugly game. I agree that the Steelers will bounce back. At least the defense, I think, will bounce back. Offense, I got too many question marks. Obviously, leading with Matt Canada. As much as I've been on the Steelers train the beginning of this year, I mean, they gotta show me something. The Raiders game wasn't really much. I mean, sorry, they beat the Raiders, and
Yeah, no,
Jimmy G got hurt, and I mean, I, I guess the Ravens. I know they normally play them tough, so that's why I could see it going to the Steelers. Let them get a win, but I'm sorry, I can't. Not with that offense. That's until I see something, I'm probably gonna pick against not the team, but against their offense. So
yeah, no, totally understandable. It was conflicting. As much as I like the Steelers, I almost didn't want to pick them, but I just have hopes, I suppose. So, um, fantasy, Lamar obviously must start. Um, let's check that.
yeah,
Twenty
Lamar
point
must
eight.
start
20.8.
20.8.
I honestly could
Uh
see
I'd
19,
I'd say
18,
temper.
19.
I'd say temper expectations. If it's gonna be an ugly game, he ain't gonna get that.
Yeah, I think if
It's
it's, I think a good expectation is like 18, 17, 18.
under then. All right.
Yeah, just for me at least. I don't know. I don't think, even if it's Pickett or Trubisky, nobody's starting that. Some people might have
Yeah, no.
Najee. Um,
I wouldn't even start Najee at this point. I mean,
yeah,
you're starting Najee because you're forced to.
yeah. That's honestly what it is depending on what your running back looks like. So like in our league, the guy who has Najee has Saquon, who's out, Jamal Williams, who's out, and his only running
Damn.
backs are Najee, Javante Williams, and Jordan Addison. Well, I'm sorry, not
Oh
Jordan
damn.
Addison. Jordan Addison. I was thinking of Madison. I read that wrong. But Matt
Alexander
Matt
Madison.
Breda, or Breda, however you pronounce it. So
Damn.
not Madison. So I read the name
Yeah.
wrong. So he has Matt Breda, Javante Williams, and Najee Harris. So I think for this guy, he has to start Najee. If you can help it, I wouldn't. The projection is 9.8. It's tough to say over on that. I mean, he had 11 last game, but the last 3 games before that were all below 10. So, Najee is one of the most annoying running backs.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't draft him.
Yeah. I remember last year, Brayden took him like third or something. I was like, oh my, what a crazy. He dropped me Austin Eckler. He took Najee before Eckler. I thought that was pretty funny. That's why you never bias pick off your team unless it's like a for sure player.
Your team is really, really good, and you know it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that too. But yeah, I don't think there's really. Oh, Mark Andrews. I definitely think obviously Mark
Yeah.
Andrews got to be a must start. Let me check the
I would say Mark Andrews. Zay
Mark
Flowers is
Andrews
a flex.
12.5.
Yeah, he should be able to get that.
Yeah, I think over, if not like right there. Tight ends right now are in a weird position. It's been a weird year for tight ends unless you're Travis Kelsey. So, and then yeah, I think you mentioned Zay Flowers. That's kind of a
He's a flex start.
low end flex,
Yeah.
deep leagues. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think it'll be a good game. We'll see. Next one we got Panthers Lions. I'll let you take this one. I think we're going to be consensus on this one.
Yeah, Panthers are not winning. Yeah, sorry. I was trying to see if you would get thrown off when we seen the Panthers first. No, yeah, Lions are. I mean, they already dominated the Packers last week. This is a inferior team. Winless. Bryce Young starting. I mean, yeah, they're definitely not going to win. They had more life into the offense with Andy Dalton. Maybe that's just because he's a veteran, but yeah, Lions are a great team. So I think there's going to be maybe just running the ball on them. Honestly, I think Jameer Gibbs could have his day this week.
Please, Jameer Gibbs. Oh my gosh.
I feel like I kind of believe he will. So yeah, honestly, Lions probably going to run away with this one.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Lions are looking playing their best football right now. So leading the division. Um, Fantasy, like you said, Jameer Gibbs. I do have Jameer Gibbs. So
Start
I really need
over.
this. I need this from Jameer Gibbs. Predicted 12.4. Just for the
Over.
sake of speaking it into existence, I'm projecting over. Um,
There you
which
go.
also, I think, also a good question would be, what do we think about Montgomery though for this game?
Over.
Over as well.
They ain't stopping that running game. Over.
Okay, Montgomery, they got him at 16.1.
Yeah, I think the over.
Okay.
Even if that seems a little too high, I'm still trying to take it anyways.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. The Lions aggravate me with Gibbs, but it might just be because I have him. Like I maybe from like an unbiased standpoint, I can understand, but as a Gibbs owner, it aggravates me seeing Montgomery just dominate the reps.
Understandably.
Yeah. Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is a. I think it's a good start.
It's a definite
I
must
think
start. I mean,
I think depending on who you're, because I feel like in most leagues, Goff is probably a backup, if not a starter in deep leagues. At least in our league, he's a backup to somebody. I gotta find. I'm not sure who has him. But
just
I like Goff. I think Goff is playing his best football, and he's proven a lot of the haters and the doubters wrong. Um, did have a quiet game against Green Bay, at least fantasy
they just
wise.
ran down.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
fantasy wise, just the running game was going crazy. So I don't
I
know.
feel like that can
It could
happen
actually
again.
be, yeah, it could happen again where just the run game is just on point. So the script might even call for him to even throw. So a little bit of risk there, I guess you could say. Um, so we'll go to. I'm not even going to worry about any Panthers players. I don't think there's really, unless
Mm.
you got a deep flex with Adam Thielen. Even then,
And go,
you got to
yeah,
be
Adam Thielen.
struggling at receiver if you're playing Adam Thielen.
That's garbage time points, if
Yeah.
anything. But
Um,
yeah, no,
but for Detroit, we got a Monra, 15.5.
I'd say everybody's a start. Honestly,
Yeah,
Monroe.
no, I mean you're starting a Monra, just
Oh yeah,
15.5.
over
I think. Honestly, I think it's going
Detroit.
to be right there, right at 15, just because the run game might be just on point, just heavy run game. He put up 16 last game. He is questionable. There is question about his availability even, but it seems like he's been practicing full speed, so they just haven't really said what his status is going to be. But if he's healthy, you're starting. But I think it's
Yeah,
15 is like a good safe right there, maybe 15, 16. So I don't want to say over when it's like 1 point over, but
over. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think he'll get his touches. But if that run game looked like it did against the Packers, yeah, I think the run game is just going to be heavy. So passing could be kind of quiet. But we'll move to next one. I think we're going to be split Texans Falcons.
Are we
Um,
split? No, we're both on the same page on now, right?
oh, were we?
Yeah, I think
I
we're
got the
both taking the
Texans.
Texans.
Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't
we're
sure
taking
if
the
you were
Texans.
Falcons. I can't remember if you were debating Falcons. But yeah,
I
Texans are
was.
yeah. If you're locked in the Texans, yeah, I think Brayden was also on the Texans as well. Um, they look great against the Steelers. C.J. Stroud is killing it, on pace for offensive rookie of the year. Um, 0 interceptions still in the year. I think. I feel like if there was any game to throw an interception, like almost guaranteed, this might be the one. Just because like it's gotta happen at some point. They've been
Least
rolling,
expected. Yeah.
yeah, and like this game that like you feel like this could, they're gonna dominate. He's just gonna throw a pick. Just you know, one of those games where it's like you bet on him not throwing one and then he throws one, right? But yeah, no, I think the Texans are rolling. They look really good. That offense is clicking. Nico Collins, Tank, even Damian Pierce. We knew Damian Pierce was good. And yeah, CJ Stroud, I think, has probably been the biggest surprise. Well, maybe for some. Um, he's been balling out, playing like a stud, and I think it's going to continue to roll. I think the Falcons, Desmond Ritter is a question mark. I mean, you're definitely going to get it from Bijan. You're going to get. Um, I think Bijan is really the only one that you can really count on anything, any type of production or efficiency. Drake London has kind of been hit or miss lately. Kyle Pitts is, we know Kyle
Well,
Pitts.
yeah.
uh,
He's got his own segment. Yeah.
yeah, we got a segment for what is it, Truth or Pitts? I think we're gonna call
Yeah.
it. We're still working out the name, but I think that's what we started calling it for now. We might workshop it. We'll see. Um, but yeah, Truth or Pitts. That's pretty funny. That was definitely one I loved. Johnny Smith. I mean, I don't think he does. I think that was just a luck of the draw game that he just happened to be getting all the targets. But yeah, too many question marks around the Falcons. Whether Ritter is the guy or not, I don't know. But fantasy wise, I think some leagues might be seeing a lot of C.J. Stroud rolling in, if depending on if you're struggling at quarterback. Um, Nico Collins, I definitely think a lot of waiver pickups had him. Uh, let's get and see. I know he's starting for somebody in our league here. They got him. Here, let's start with CJ Stroud. Actually, started quarterback. So I don't think anybody's playing Ritter. So
No.
don't think
No.
we even need to worry about that. But CJ Stroud,
I feel like you're only playing CJ Stroud if quarterback has a bye
yeah, if your
or
quarterback's
you
on
got like
bye
Joe
or it's
Burrow. You
really
got Joe
bad
Burrow or
matchup,
something?
yeah. So they do
Yeah.
have CJ at 16. Um,
That
I think
sounds
he
about
had
right.
20 or 21, 21. So actually, his last three games, he's put up 21, 20, and 20. I think he could go over. I think it could get to 20 again. I think he's been on a roll. He might throw the interception, um, but I feel like he could go for the last three games. He's put up two touchdowns in each game. So he's got 6 touchdowns on the year. I think this game he could go for more than two. Um, I think the Falcons might keep up with him a little bit, give him a little bit of, you know, they'll score on them just running the ball with Bijan and check downs to Bijan or whatever the hell they do with Bijan. And I think they'll score, and it'll call for a script where CJ, just to keep him in the lead, will be throwing, and he'll get a couple touchdowns. I could see him going over two, so I could see it being right about 20 again with the one interception. I mean, obviously, it'd be great if he didn't throw that interception, but I feel like this is the game. He's got to do it this game. And then, like I said, Nico Collins, I think, let's see where they got Nico. 13.3.
13. Um, Honestly,
He's been rolling, him and Tank.
him and Tank, it's like one of them will have their games and
Yeah,
one
I
of
feel like
them
it's
just
just
won't.
which one is going to be. So I don't know. They have been kind of flip flopping. It's been Nico and
Wow.
it's been Tank. And it's been
I think if you're playing them, you put them as a flex,
yeah.
because
I think they're definitely flexes unless you're struggling at receiver. You got buys at receiver. The guy who's got Nico starting, understandably, he's got Drake London and Jigba, or he's got Deontay and IR. That's why. So
damn.
it
Okay.
makes sense. And T Higgins is questionable. So
Ooh.
with the ribs, yeah. Um, so yeah, I could see why he's starting Nico. So yeah, just situational. If your league calls for it, your roster calls for it, you're starting Nico. I think. Same with CJ. I don't think there's any question you're starting Bijan. That's for sure. Um, they got Bijan at 18.4.
You say 18?
18, yeah. He just put up 18 last week, 10 the week before, and then first 2 weeks he put up 20.
I'm gonna say under 18. I think it's just under. Just
Yeah,
under.
I think I agree. I think it'll be right at 18. Um, I think the Texans will take a league and the script will call for. I don't know that could have helped him with the having to pass because I feel like he is a big passing target.
He is. I
I don't
don't
know.
know. Desmond Ritter's
Yeah,
not
Desmond Ritter's
really
questionable.
not really giving me confidence in this.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts must start for
Kyle
sure.
Pitts under every game. Don't care.
What even
If it's
is he
zero
at? I
under
gotta look and
under.
see. I feel
No.
bad for the guy who has Kyle Pitts. Like
Kyle Pitts deserves better, man.
he needs to pick
It's
up a
all
tight end off the waivers, but there really aren't any. They got him at 8.4, and I think the under is your best bet. The most he's had this year is 8.7. So um, it'll definitely bode well for us if he does really bad for Truth or Pits. So we're gonna for next week's segment of Truth or Pits. I'm not gonna look at all at Kyle Pitts' numbers. I gotta
oh, I
stay
mean,
away.
I'll give you his number. I'll give you his number.
I
Just
know.
yeah,
I
you can.
want to. I feel like this one I want to try because the last one, this past one, I knew what it was. So this
Okay.
one I want to try not knowing, not even looking. So
Okay.
um,
You can see how that is.
I think just for the sake of that, when we do our reactions, I'm gonna be like totally in the dark on that game, Houston Atlanta, just so I don't even like somehow come across like the highlights and like seeing him catch because you can kind of gauge when you watch the highlights like you can see the receptions and especially if he scores then that'll tell me. So I will stay away from that game just for the sake of Truth or Pits. But I think that'll wrap it up for that game. I don't think there's too many other. Maybe Drink London. I
No, that's it.
I think it's a sit. Yeah, just based on the track history or the track record. Sorry. Um, I don't know. He's had one decent game above 15, and I mean last week he had 11. I don't know. I just think that offense is just not good passing, and it's looking like a repeat of last year where just the run game is the only thing they have. But we'll move on. We'll get to. I'll let you take this one. Probably going to be another consensus: Giants versus Dolphins.
Dolphins bounce back game. They're dropping 70. No, probably dropping 40. Sorry.
Yeah, I could see
Oh, maybe.
40.
No, maybe.
I don't
Nah,
think it's going to be
40.
70.
40.
40s, I think, is a good bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, another bounce back game for them. Against a struggling. Struggling is probably a nice word to say. It's even worse than that.
That's
But
an
yeah,
understatement.
it's generous. Yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, Dolphins bounce back game. Start everybody. If you got them, maybe not Raheem Mostert, but start everybody else.
Um, so we'll go straight into the Dolphins just because we know it's going to be a big day for them. Probably not even looking at any Giants players
No, you
unless
got Darren
you're
Waller.
unless you're
That's a
Darren Waller.
desperate
Yeah,
start.
that's a desperate start at that point. But we'll stick with Dolphins. So I do have Tua. They do have him at 19.1. So I'm conflict. I do have the overs. So Tua versus Justin Fields though.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah,
I
that's
trust
why
Tua
I'm like,
more.
I do trust Tua
Honestly,
more.
yeah.
And I think this is definitely the matchup where, like you said, bounce back, bad defense, high scoring, 40 points. So I think for this week, just because Tua's kind of more for sure than Justin Fields, I got to go Tua. Um, but then we'll bring up, I know you mentioned Mostert. I know a lot of
He's
people
a
are,
temp.
I know a lot of people are probably starting him
He's a
after,
temper expectations. How
yeah.
about that? Because they play the
I
Giants,
mean,
so he might
just
get more touches.
that one game. Well, I mean, he did have a good game the game before. He had 25, but that one game launched him into RB2. So,
You know, I'm sorry. I'll say start. Temper expectations, but start. Because
yeah,
A
they got
chain,
him at 12,
Achan, Chain.
12.3.
Okay, maybe that sounds just about right.
Think so?
Maybe I over exaggerated down a bit. I forgot if they're going to be blowing this team out, they're going to be running it. So yeah, that
Maybe.
sounds about
Yeah,
right.
it could be. Tyreek
Just
Hill. Oh, sorry. What?
over. No, Tyreek Hill
Okay, yeah,
over.
Tyreek Hill 20.5. Yeah, I think good 25 is probably a solid expectation. I think a definitely good question is Waddle. Waddle's
Over.
been kind of quiet. Um,
I don't know what it is. I'm saying over.
didn't play against Denver. Came back against Buffalo. Quiet. Um, so I think he missed out on that big offensive onslaught against Denver. They do have him at 13.5. Yeah, I think it'll be over.
Yeah, over.
Yeah, but this will be a good one. Dolphins defense gets the
Over.
Giants. 8.7
Over.
over. I think
Yeah,
that's yeah.
definitely. Oh, definite.
I think that's a good bet. Yeah, over. Um,
Pick them up. Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. Let's find. Let's see. However you would now pronounce it.
Achane. I don't know.
Chain. Yeah, something.
Achan. Oh,
Oh, you have him.
I got him. Yeah.
That is correct. 15.6. I definitely
Over.
think you're starting over.
Am I starting him? I don't know. I didn't even do my lineup yet.
Yeah, you have him started right now, but I think you're probably starting him this week.
Okay.
Unless you're thinking of putting in McLaughlin.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think I think he has potential to take the for sure starting spot from Mostert, just because he's been balling out. Even in the last game, he was really the only bright thing to come out of that game against the Bills. So I think it'll keep rolling. So I'm taking the over, and yeah, unless you're stacked at running back, you're probably starting him. But that'll probably wrap it up. I don't think we're even gonna look at any Giants players.
No.
But yeah, Darren Waller is the only one that you're like struggling. You need to start Darren Waller. But if you can avoid it, try your best to. But we'll move on to the next one. We're going to be split on this one, I think. Bengals, Cardinals. Um, I wanted to say the Bengals, but I think just with the questions around Joe Burrow and the Cardinals are, playing their hearts out right now. Just right now, that team they got a fire in their gut. They're playing good. Had some tough matchups, close games, and they beat the Cowboys. So I definitely think you got to give them credit. They're playing out of their minds right now, at least for a team that should be tanking or was supposed to be tanking, that everyone thought was going to be the most irrelevant team, is somehow fighting for their lives every game. I think this is the one game that they had the chance to, they might be playing for behind for some of it, but I feel like this one they could take away. Um, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, they've just been real quiet, and they kind of had a fake good game against the Rams. A game that I think we should have won, that we kind of just stepped on our own foot and gave up too many sacks, and we had a touchdown taken away that I think we should have had. So I think the Cardinals could take this one. I think Bengals defense just gave up a lot to the Titans, and that run game was, I mean, it's Derrick Henry, but I think James Conner could have himself a good day against Cincinnati. So I got to take the Cards on this one.
I completely agree with everything you said. As much I want to take the Cardinals, I'm just like, I can't.
I get it. I get it.
I
It's
I
tough.
can't. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta go Joe Burrow. I know he's not playing great. The whole team isn't playing great. He's hurt, but I gotta stick with him at least for this one. Against these inferior teams. I know the Bengals are technically one of the inferior teams, but still, I Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. I still feel like with the talent, they should put something together. They should win. So I'm gonna go with them, and I'm hoping, really hoping, praying at this point, Jamar Chase gets another game going like how he did against the Rams. Because if not, I'm probably gonna lose again. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting game. I think it'll be one of the games to watch, especially.
Agreed.
Yeah. Fantasy, I think there's a lot of Bengals players that are 100% starts, even with the struggles Joe Burrow.
I'd say Joe Burrow's a sit, but the rest of their offensive
Maybe,
players, I'd just start.
I don't know.
I
I
would
feel
say
like, yeah,
maybe.
okay. I now that I'm thinking about it from a fantasy standpoint, yeah, Joe Burrow could be a sit. Um, I
Yeah,
don't know. Some people, I feel like they might just be thinking like, because odds are you probably drafted him like third round.
yeah,
So
and I understandably so why you start him. You drafted him high, so
yeah, that's like
which I'm not against that.
some
You
people.
got to
Yeah,
stick with
just
who you draft.
yeah. I think just because the caliber of player that he is, even when he's struggling, I feel like you're just expecting him to like, okay, this is the game he comes back, especially against like a team like the Cardinals.
Yeah,
Joe Mixon for sure start. They got him projected 14.8. Um, I think Arizona's run defense is not that great. Definitely bottom tier. I could see about 15, 16. He did have the touchdown against the Rams and was quiet against Tennessee, but that was just a bad day. Um, I think he could put up another touchdown, average yardage, and be right about 14, 15. So I'm not going to say a big over. Jamar Chase, they got him at 20.6 this game.
he's
I know you want that.
he's a must start.
Yeah, no, I
He's a
mean,
must start. With
I
the
don't think you can't not start Jamar Chase. No
you gotta
matter
be you
like,
gotta be brave.
unless like Joe Burrow explodes and their backup is a paperclip at quarterback. you know,
I
no
mean,
matter
I'm gonna
who's
say
quarterback, I think Jamar Chase is a must start.
under, but he's a must start
I
regardless.
think it'll be under. I think it'll be close. I don't think it'll be a
I
really
hope
bad
so.
under, but I mean, I know you want it to be. Um,
I need him to be.
on the other side, there is someone in our league starting Joshua Dobbs.
That doesn't surprise me. At this rate, he's playing
Um,
great.
yeah, he's at 18.2. I think that's like right a good amount. 18.2.
I I agree. 18 sounds
18.
about
Yeah, 18
just right.
sounds just about right. Yeah, like you said. Um, I know there's that rookie receiver. It's kind of been getting
Oh,
a lot
Michael
of
Wilson.
noise. He's at 9.3. I think that's going to be an over.
That's an over.
Yeah.
Seeing the receptions he's getting, targets, yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
could see that.
Yeah, I definitely think he's definitely coming onto the scene. Let's find what's his name.
Yeah, Marquise Brown, Hollywood.
Him
You know what?
and
James Conner.
I was gonna go James Conner next. 14.5.
Connor? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll go over.
I'm gonna go over. Yeah, I think that run game, that'll be one of the things they get going against Cincinnati.
She's consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Marquise Brown. I don't even know who has him here in our league.
I'd probably say over. You know, I don't know. The Cardinals they've been actually really throwing the ball a lot. I mean, I know maybe it's part of the script if they're down, but I think even
Yeah,
when they were playing Dallas, they were just really spreading that ball. Whether it's to Marquise Brown,
he's at
Michael Wilson,
14.2.
I think went to. I'd say over. Yeah,
Okay, I think
I'd I'd say
depending
all the
on
pass catchers,
I think
even
depending
Zach
on
Ertz, I'd say is over.
Zach Ertz,
Over a
yeah,
start.
too. Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I think that's
A
like I
good
said,
watch
that'll
this
be
week.
a good watch. All right, let's get this next one. You're gonna like this one, Eagles Rams. I feel like we just gotta talk about this one since it's both our teams. So
Oh yeah,
I'll
of
let you
course.
go first.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're too down on your team. I mean, shoot, like you guys are playing great. I mean, it's a year I didn't think it's 2-2 right now.
Yeah, 2-2.
That's a great start. I mean, I think
Barely.
seeing how the media was portraying you guys going to be bottom tier, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they're thinking that I think all these young players are just going to take them a long time to develop and learn, but then you guys kind of came out the gates firing. So, you know, I could see them. I can just see this game being a tough, close game. Puka Nakua is going to get his. That's just both his talent, you guys' offense. I think just scheming, but also our back end, whether it's linebackers, secondary. I think they're really struggling. Part of that is just we're really thin at depth right now. Losing our one of our linebackers, our nickel corner for the I'd say for the year. I think for the year. I think yeah for the year, and then really shuffling at our second safety spot. So as you saw, the Commanders really just thinking and dunking, going down the field. I think you guys could do the same. Maybe not run the ball as efficient, but definitely see you guys throwing your guys selves down the field, getting the red zone. And I think probably going to depend on how you guys perform in the red zone from there.
All that, but you still got the Eagles winning, of course.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, you can
I
say
know
it's biased,
you
but
just went on this whole rant of like my team, my team, my team.
I mean, shoot, I think you guys have a good shot. It's in LA,
See,
right? You're
now I got
flying
to do
across
now
country.
I got to do that and just go your team, your team, your team for my.
Honestly, I like what you guys are
Yeah,
doing
no,
this year so
I
far. It's
agree.
great.
Obviously, being a fan, it's like you always expect your team to win. You know, you always want them to win, but just from like an unbiased standpoint, can't win every game. Um, I know we look decent for half of that game against the Colts, and then kind of let them almost come back and take the win. Um, I think this one's gonna go a little differently. I think your guys' offense is gonna be a little too much for the defense. Um, I got you guys winning this one just based off of you guys. Even with the defensive injuries, I still think you guys are solid. I think right now the way we've been playing is we really only look good when the run game looks good, and I don't think this is going to be one of those games where the run is going to get going. Um, so it's just hard to take my team for this one. Unfortunately, it's just one of these matchups that I don't think we're going to be able to come out on. I think there could be a chance, but I just got to bet on the Eagles for this one. At least for the prediction race. just to keep myself in it, I got to make this the safe bet. I hope my team wins, but just to be safe, and what I think is going to happen, I got to take the Eagles. For fantasy, I think Matthew Stafford is a sit this game. If you were starting him in some other leagues, in some deep leagues, um, he's second right now in passing yards. So the passing is there. The interceptions have definitely been hurting him. Some of them, are just on tips and receivers. Kyron Williams had two, tip balls and forced interception off those. So this game, I think the run game is going to struggle and the passing is going to kind of get all the attention. So I think Stafford is a sit. On the other side, obviously, Hurts is a start. I don't think there's any worry with Hurts. I think his projection 21.9. I could see 22, 23, close to 25. So I'm going to go over on that. I do like Hurts. I loved Hurts last year. I had the Hurts AJ stack. Speaking of him, AJ Brown, obviously a must start. They got him at 18.8. What do you think?
I think maybe just right or just a little under. I think I'm gonna say Dallas Goddard game this week.
You think so? I was gonna go to him
Yeah.
next. Goddard. I got Goddard. I've been waiting for Goddard to do something. Yeesh. They got him 9.4. So
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say
for the
Dallas Goddard
sake of
game.
speaking it into existence, yeah, Goddard. I will say I was gonna mention the Rams are pretty bad against tight ends. They gave up 2 touchdowns to the Colts tight end, Ogletree. So
That was the main reason why I said that.
I definitely think this is a good game for Goddard. Potential's there. Rams suck across the middle. For some reason, we like to throw Michael Hoyt, our defensive end, out in coverage, which baffles me, but whatever. Yeah, I think this is a good potential good game to boom for Goddard. We'll go to Kyron Williams. He's been
How'd
playing
you make
out
the
of his
call on that
mind.
one?
It's tough because he's been playing out of his mind right now. They got him at 17.5. Just put up 27 against the Colts. I don't think the run game is going to be there. I'm thinking more like 12, 13. I think he'll get the checks downs. I think he'll get some rushing. He might get the rushing touchdown if it's like, passing gets us to the red zone. And he, just gets a bulldoze into the red zone on a, even the best teams running the ball in the red zone is one of the easiest things to do. Well, sometimes, not for everybody, but I feel like definitely we're going to try in the red zone. He's going to get a lot of attempts. If we get to the red zone, he's going to get the attempts at the goal line. So he's going to get at least one. But I think it'll be 12, 13. I don't think it'll be 17, maybe 15 at the most. It's just tough. It's the Eagles, I think, because a lot of it is the run game needs to be going, and I don't think it will. But we'll move on to Puka. They got him at 14.6.
Over.
I'm actually a little. I think it's going to depend if Cup plays, because the hope is Cup comes off IR and plays this Sunday.
Okay, I can see that.
This was the hope was this was going to be his return, was week 5. They wanted to start him week 1. He wanted to play week 1. He was ready to go, but team decision just said, let's get you back at full health, somewhat 100%, without risk of there being any re-injury at least there in the hamstring. So I think if Cup plays, it's tough because I don't think the volume is going to be there for Puka with Cup back. Because I think what Puka's been doing is what Cup will take over and do once he's back. Because I just from history and watching them play and just knowing my team, Stafford, Cup is his number one, number two, number three option. So he's gonna look to Cup damn near every time. And if he plays, he's gonna go. I think this is gonna be a statement game for Cup. They might lose, but I think Cup could eat this game. If he plays, they got him projected 17. I take the over on this. I think he goes 20 plus if he plays. So we'll see. Cross my fingers. I think it'll give us a chance to win. If he doesn't play, I definitely think we lose. If he plays, I think it'll be close. We could have a chance, but I still bet on the Eagles. But that'll wrap it up for those. Maybe Eagles defense. I think a lot of people definitely are using Eagles defense as a
I
starter.
haven't had them this year, so
Yeah,
it's hard
I know
for me
you
to say.
don't.
But sadly, everybody found out about them.
5.2 on the Eagles defense.
3.2. I mean, I'm hoping for the over, hoping they just rack up sacks.
Yeah, I think the over be there. I think the sacks, and I think they could get a pick, at least one, if not two. Unfortunately.
Aaron Donald will pass the torch to Jalen Carter after the game.
Yeah. All right, we'll get to the next one. Jets Broncos. I'll let you
Were
take
you
this
unanimous,
one.
right?
I think we're pretty consensus on this one. I'll let you go. I've been talking quite a bit.
Yeah, we're gonna go Broncos on this one. I mean, I think we're both rooting for Zach Wilson. He's gotten it rough. So we're definitely cheering for him. But
Yeah.
we gotta go with the Broncos. I mean, their offense has been it's been good. I think probably underrated. Their defense has just been, they've been letting them down every single week. Not just the 70-point game. Their defense has just been really bad, and I think maybe lots of us thought that was going to be one of their strengths. So I think the Broncos can put something together on offense, and I think just maybe I want to say run away with the game, but I wouldn't say blow out. But I think they can get a comfortable lead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. As much as I like Zach Wilson, he looked good, but it's probably just because Taylor Swift was there.
No, Donna Kelsey.
Yeah, Donna Kelsey too. It's probably a combination of both. That's funny. It was messed up. But yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, I think the Broncos almost lost to the Bears, but made a good comeback. I think Russell Wilson has been playing good despite the losses and the defense struggling. But yeah, I just hard to bet on Zach Wilson, even with how good he looked. I think it just was a fluke against Mahomes. He decided to play good against the best quarterback, and yeah, I don't think it'll happen again. Fantasy, the only Jets I think we're really looking at are maybe Garrett Wilson.
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall, maybe, yeah, but Dalvin Cook, I don't know. That backfield is very weird, and it's hard to bet on either one of them. But Garrett Wilson, I think some people might
I
not
think you
have
got
him
to start him.
starting. Some people, I think it depends what you have at receiver. If you don't need to start him, I think
Yeah.
he's a good flex option if your bench doesn't look great and you need that flex. He's at 17.1. I could see this being over just off of Denver. Denver gives up a lot, has been giving up a lot of points and a lot of production to offenses, bottom tier offenses. So I think this could be a good day for Jets offense. I still think they lose, but yeah, I could see Garrett Wilson going over maybe 18, 19, 20. Not super high over. Close, though.
Yeah, within that range.
Okay. Do we think Brees Hall or even Dalvin Cook is a start?
I would say Brees Hall, not Dalvin Cook.
Okay. Brees Hall, they got him at 13.1.
I think he can get a little bit over, honestly. You know, the Broncos defense is that bad,
Yeah,
and if they really
Broncos.
just lean into just maybe running the ball,
Broncos
I
have been
think I
struggling.
think it's doable. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Um, I could see it. Yeah, 15, 16 touchdown, couple check down receptions, maybe 80,
Let's
90
go, Zach.
yards. Yeah.
Let's go, Zach.
Um, on the other side, Russell Wilson. I don't think a lot of people are. Could be a backup in some leagues. Might. I don't know. Jets defense got two
Still
picks on
good.
Mahomes, so
Jets
still
defense is still good.
still a good defense. So I think Wilson is a sit. Javonte Williams. I don't
Hmm.
know. It's a tough one. I think he's questionable.
I'd
I don't
say,
even know if he's starting.
yeah. I was gonna say, never mind. No, I don't think
He
he's.
might not even play. Yeah, he might be out if he plays. Right now, they don't even have him projected playing, so they got 0 on him projected.
Yeah, I'd say sit.
So
You
I
know,
think a safe bet is sit. Yeah, especially against the Jets too. They got a pretty good front seven. Um, Jerry Judy, Cortland Sutton.
I'd start them. Maybe temper expectations, but
Yeah.
I'd start them.
Let's see. They got Sutton at 11.7.
I'd say over on that. He's been pretty consistent.
Let's see who's got Judy. Jerry Judy. Oh, the guy I'm up against this week isn't. Nice. 11.9. Oh, they're both
I'll go.
11.9.
Mm,
He is questionable.
I'll go under.
He
That's just me
wasn't.
liking Cortland Sutton, though. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good expectation. Yeah. I don't know. Jets do have a good defense. So.
They do.
Yeah. We'll move on to the next one. I think we're pretty consensus on this one. Chiefs Vikings. I think we got the Chiefs winning this one. Um,
Chiefs. Yeah.
even though the Vikings had a pretty easy matchup against Carolina, I don't think they're going to be able to do much against Kansas City. I think Kansas City just one of the best teams in football right now, even with that close, even with how close it was against the Jets. But um, yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about this one. They just look too good. Mahomes and
Yeah.
Kels are just too good right now. So Mahomes, they got him at 22.4.
Over.
Yeah, I could see over. Minnesota's defense has been really bad. Definitely over. Travis Kelsey,
Over.
17.7 over for sure. I'm not really looking at too many other Chiefs players. Maybe Rasheed Rice. I think a lot of people are kind of high on, but I don't think
I
you're
don't know.
starting
I
him
feel like
I don't think you're starting him unless you're really really struggling. Isaiah Pacheco, I think is a good is another name that I
yeah.
think is good. Let's see here, Pacheco, 14.9. Pacheco's been playing pretty well. Last 2 games, he's pretty decent. Last game, he had 20 attempts against the Jets, so 24 points. I definitely think he could go over, especially 14.9.
Yeah. Yeah. That's doable.
Minnesota's definitely the only good aspect of their defense is their run defense, but even then, it's not
That's
that great.
that's the Chiefs.
It's
Chiefs.
still bad, and
Chiefs
yeah,
are
it's the
great.
Chiefs. So on the other side, obviously Justin Jefferson, no question. 20,
Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson. That's what ones you'd be starting. I
30.1.
think.
I think it's over.
I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins is the only. Those are only three
Kirk
I see. Sorry.
Cousins is a tough one because it's like he's been playing like it's not like the losses aren't on him. He's been playing great. Um,
Yeah,
is he a start though against the Chiefs?
I would.
17.8. I think. Yeah, I think depending on if you drafted him as your starter, yeah, you're starting him. Unless you got a favorable waiver pickup, a favorable matchup on waivers, I think you're starting Cousins or your backup as a favorable matchup. Um, 17.8 on the projection.
Yeah, I say over.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over. I think he plays better against good teams. Um, Bad fantasy day against Carolina, but I don't know. That just could have been just playing against a rookie quarterback bag team. He just decided to play bad for some reason, and then he'll play out of his mind against these, you know, big time matchups.
Yeah, 1 o'clock games.
Yeah, and I don't think you're wanting to start Madison or Cam Akers if you can help it.
Stay away.
Yeah, especially Cam Akers. Anyway, we'll get to the last two. Almost there. I think we're gonna have a split on this one. Cowboys Niners. I'll let you start.
Man, I wish both these teams would lose. Honestly, I don't want to deal with any of these teams, but I'm probably going with the Niners on this one. It's not just because I hate the Cowboys. I think both are well-built teams, definitely contenders in the NFC. So, but I feel like the Niners are probably 1 step ahead of them, or just right above them. Brock Purdy's playing great. I know I really haven't really given them their flowers, but you know, I feel like he's doing a lot better than last year. I know last year was more so him just being a game manager. I feel like this year um, he's actually playing out of structure when he needs to, making plays when he needs to. So I'm liking what I see from him. I actually like Brock Purdy. The Niners and their fans are just annoying. So yeah, but no, I feel like this is going to be a great game just to watch. Great defenses and great offenses. Despite what I think about Dak, I feel like it's going to be a great game. I feel like the Niners are going to edge them out in the end.
Yeah, I think Brayden's got the Niners. I'm gonna be the odd man out here. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. Um, I'm going off of I think just the way the Niners have looked right now. I think Brock Purdy has just been playing. Obviously he can. He's got to play the clean, just easy tempo ball. Doesn't have to, you know, make play too hard. Just they've been coasting. He hasn't really had to carry games for them. Um, so he hasn't really been asked to like really, really win a game for them. Just like from QB play, the defense has been kind of carrying the load, getting them off to good starts, and then he's just got to play a clean game. And when you got Kittle, Samuel, and McCaffrey, and the way McCaffrey's been playing right now, you don't even have to. Anybody can play quarterback right now with McCaffrey running back the way he's been playing. I think this is going to be different. Cowboys defense they did struggle. Definitely. I think they had a lackluster game against the Cardinals where they slept on them, bounced back, and have been dominating on defense. I don't think they're gonna score defensively as much as they have against these struggling offensive teams. But I definitely think they're gonna make Purdy play, make Purdy throw, and have to win off of his QB play. Because Because right now, the way Purdy's been playing, he's just been sitting comfortably in the pocket. Doesn't have to worry about, hasn't been getting pressured a lot. Just has all the time in the world, and it's easy to throw the football when you're not getting ran down by defensive linemen. So I think Micah Parsons is going to make his life difficult, make him have to make tough decisions, and I don't think it's going to be as easy as these last few games have been for him. I still think McCaffrey's going to do McCaffrey. Right now McCaffrey is just playing out of his mind. But I think the Cowboys they take these away games. I feel like they find ways to win the away games, and then like if this was a home game for the Cowboys, I'd probably bet on the Niners. I don't know about Dak Prescott. I just feel like this is one game that he might, play out of his mind. Just it being the Niners and all the noise about, the Niners are the best team, they're the contenders. I think he's going to hear it, and he's going to play a good, clean game, and the Cowboys defense are going to make Purdy work, and we're going to see. I think this will be a true test of Purdy, because so far it's been way too easy for him these first 4 games. So I think the Cowboys take this one, just off of the defense has been rolling, and this will be the first time Purdy will be up against an elite defense, and Ayuk has kind of been quiet after his injury against the Rams, I think. Not sure how it's been affecting him in the last couple games, but Debo has looked good, but I think this defense is going to find a way to get to Purdy, make his life difficult, and he's not going to be comfortable back there. So I got the Cowboys stealing this one. Fantasy, I think some for sure starts are Tony Pollard.
I think you're starting all the skill position players, honestly.
CeeDee
The receiving running backs.
CeeDee Lamb, Pollard, questionable. Dak, I think just for this game, I don't know. I would never draft Dak just in general, so I wouldn't even have to worry about taking him. If you have Dak, I know I just said that he's going to play a clean game. I don't know if it'll be clean fantasy-wise, but at least, for the game day, real game script, and I think he'll play clean. He might throw a pick just because the Niners defense is just, they're good. They're not, gotta give them credit. They're definitely not bums. I think they could take a pick from him, but I still think he'll put up good numbers. I think he could go for 3+ touchdowns this game. CeeDee Lamb, I think CeeDee's gonna put in work this game. But yeah, like you said, skill players. I think you're starting McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle, even Ayuk. I think you start Purdy. I know a lot of people have been using Purdy in fantasy lately. I wouldn't start in this game if it was me, just with the Cowboys defense. I'm not starting the Cowboys defense. I do have the Cowboys defense. I think this is going to be an offensive battle, just back and forth. But I think they will get us. I think they're going to sack Purdy. Mike Parsons just looks great right now. I think they're going to get to him, and they'll get a few sacks. But I'm not starting him against the Niners. I think it'll just be offense, just an offensive battle. But I think the Cowboys defense is going to get those stops and get the sacks. And, I got them taking this one. But, yeah, definitely fantasy, start everybody. I think it's a safe bet.
I can't wait for this game, actually. I'm really excited. My team ain't even playing.
This is the one game that I wish both teams could lose, but
same.
And it's also because I also despise the 49ers. So that kind of does affect why I'm taking the Cowboys. Also, because I just want them to win, so I got to speak it into existence. So, yeah, this is the one game that most of America is just like, can both these teams lose? I don't know. I think definitely a lot of people dislike the Cowboys more than they dislike the Niners.
For sure. Yeah.
But we'll move to the last one. Packers Raiders. I think I don't know. I think you were kind of questioning it, right?
Yeah, I'm on the fence here, honestly, but for sure if Jimmy G's playing, you know what? Actually, I think this don't matter. I'll take the Raiders. I'll
He's
stick with
taking
this
the
one.
Raiders. Okay.
I will take the Raiders. Yeah, I think for sure with Jimmy G, I think they have a strong chance of winning. He'll just do his job, and I don't know if it's whether it's the Packers or if it's an Aaron Rodgers thing, but Jimmy G just always beat them, So if he's not playing, I feel like it might be a little bit different story, but I'm willing to bet on them. I feel like Josh Jacobs. If they really just feed him, rely on him to just run them over, I think they have a strong chance of winning that way. Packers are definitely more susceptible to getting beat on the ground than the air. So Josh Jacobs finally woke up last week. So if they really use him, whether it's dump off screens or just let him run the ball, I could definitely see them winning this game.
Yeah.
Sorry, Packers.
Yeah, no, I could see it. I am going to take the Packers. I do like the Packers this year. Tough loss last week. I think the Lions just played phenomenal, and they look really good right now. But I think they bounce back, and I think this is definitely a good matchup. The Raiders, whether it is Jimmy G or O'Connell, I think this is a good chance for Jordan Love to bounce back and play well, and Christian Watson, I think, is going to come back, pretty healthy, and Romeo Dobbs looks pretty good. Rookie receivers, those well, they're not rookies anymore, but those young receivers look really good, and Jordan Love has been playing pretty well. So I think they take this one. Fantasy, I like you mentioned Josh Jacobs. I do have Josh Jacobs. I think if it's O'Connell, I think he has big potential because rookie quarterbacks, they do check down a lot to running backs. That's just kind of temper. They don't like throwing deep balls and risking interceptions. Especially this was his first game thrown into the spotlight as a starter, and Josh Jacobs got all the checkdowns, had great receiving yards, great receptions. They got him at 18.3. I think if O'Connell plays, I definitely see over Jimmy G. I'm not too sure. I don't know if they'll use him again in the run game like they did. I don't know. I think it's going to depend on O'Connell or Jimmy G. If it's O'Connell, I for sure got the over, just because I saw how he checked down to him like a lot. So I think it'll definitely be a repeat of that. So I think it depends on who's starting at quarterback. Receivers, obviously Devontae Adams, guaranteed
Yeah, must start.
Old
team. He's going off. This is old team.
Yeah, definitely not revenge game, but old team matchup. Had a quiet game against at least for him, quiet against the Chargers, but that was just O'Connell getting bum rushed by Khalil Mack. So he's still 8 though, had 13 targets, even with a rookie quarterback. So you always got to bet on Devontae. I think they got him at 22.2. That's actually a pretty crazy projection.
Damn, yeah, it is.
I don't know. I think it could be right there. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure Jair Alexander is going to be on him most of the game, but I could see 20. I don't know about 22.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under. Yeah, especially, I feel like they're gonna rely on Josh Jacobs, so even more so. I'm leaning towards that.
If it's O'Connell, I think it's 100% under. Maybe closer with Jimmy, but Um, I think that's it for the Raiders. The Packers, I think.
I think you're starting everybody.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
the
yeah,
main guys. Yeah.
yeah. I don't think we're looking at Jordan Love. I'm pretty sure he's probably not starting in most leagues, and
He's
unless
actually been
it's
he's been actually pretty good
I know
fantasy
he's actually been
this
good at
year.
fantasy, but I don't know. I think there's a
Oh,
lot
too
of
much uncertainty right now.
yeah, hesitation to because he's still kind of figuring himself out.
He's
But
a
I
clumsy
don't know.
boy. Yeah.
He's actually been even against the Lions. He actually he had 17. I don't know. I
I
might
think
take that back actually. Um, I think he has potential for both rushing and passing. Um, so
I'd say
maybe
start
yeah.
in
I
fantasy.
think if you're depending on where you're at QB, I think Jordan Love could be a start. Um, I think actually the Raiders are will be a decent matchup for him. Christian Watson, they got him pretty low at 12. Um,
I'd say over. I think
I
that's
will
about.
take the over. Yeah, I think he first came back against Detroit. Um, well, I think he was active for Atlanta, but I don't really know. I think he
I
left the
think
game.
it's
Yeah, but his
actually.
first actual game was Detroit. He does have a stat line for Atlanta, but he had like
I think.
zero targets. So I can't remember if he like was in the game
I
but
don't think
left.
he.
But I don't think
Yeah,
he
I
even
don't know.
played. But yeah,
No,
Detroit was his real first game back. Not the best first game to come back. He did have a touchdown, so I definitely think he'll bounce back, and he will hit the over. Um, Romeo Dobbs. Let's see what they got him at.
like 12.
Yeah, let's see. Romeo Dobbs. They got him at
How much?
10.9.
10. I'd say over.
Yeah, I'd say
He's been
over.
getting over
He was
every week
good.
except for like one week. That's
Yeah.
it.
Um, Aaron Jones.
I'd say over. I don't know how healthy he is, but I'd say
Yeah.
over. Wait, was he? No, he wasn't hurt last week, right? He just did bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was. I think he just, yeah, he came back
I'd say
from the injury, but I think the script just, they had to throw the ball, playing from behind. And yeah, no, I definitely think this is a good game for him to bounce back. They got him at 14.4. I could see the over.
yeah, over.
Yeah. I think that's pretty, ooh, maybe, I'm thinking of,
Who's
if he
that?
plays, I think he's questionable. Luke Musgrave, tight end.
Ah, Musgrave. I'm just gonna go over because I like
He's
him.
I
That's
don't know.
all.
He's in the he was in the concussion protocol, but I think he practiced it. He practiced yesterday. Geez, I can't speak. He practiced yesterday, so if he plays, they got him at 8.2.
Yeah, I go to over.
I'd say maybe like 10, 12.
I think I'm just saying it because I like him. Honestly, like
Yeah, no, I think he's good. I like him.
I like his rookie tight ends. They've been balling out, so
Yeah, they
that's
have.
why I'm saying over.
That will wrap it up though for week 5. Um, Definitely going to be some interesting games. A couple to keep an eye on. Niners,
Yeah,
Cowboys, Bengals, Cards. Um,
Eagles, Rams.
I think yeah, we'll be watching our games. That's going to be a tough one to watch for me, especially if we just get pummeled. And
Believe in your team.
I believe. I'm hoping. I'm looking forward. Hopefully, he plays to see Cup back. Um, I'm definitely waiting to see what that offense is going to look like if he's back with Puka, how they're going to use him. Because I think, they've been using him as they would if Cup was in. So we'll see if Cup is back where Puka falls. Because I don't really think they use him as where they do with like Van Jefferson on the outside as a receiver too, kind of more of like slot. But I don't know. We'll see. Definitely going to be an interesting game to watch. We'll probably be texting each other as we're watching it.
Yeah, probably.
Anytime one of us scores or something. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up our week 5. We didn't get any of our kind of end of video games. We do like the pit, truth or
Off
pits
topic
or
discussions.
yeah,
Yeah.
off topic stuff. I think this was a longer video just because we incorporated the fantasy. Um, but next week, I don't think Brayden will be quite back yet, but he should be back soon. Not in this upcoming reaction video, but he might be back for the next week 6 predictions. But we'll keep you guys updated. Um, Make sure check out our Instagram. We're always making new posts, posting reels, reactions. We're putting out injury updates, takeaways, just all the news for the week. So keep track on that, and we'll keep you guys updated with Brayden, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Good luck to everybody this Sunday. Hope everybody's team gets a win. Kind of hard for me and Jake because our teams are playing against us, so somebody's got to lose, but we'll see.
One of us is gonna cry. Yeah.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the prediction race. We'll see if there's going to be some big moves this week.
Oh, before I can announce who's in the standings for now if you want. Right before we sign off. So I'm leading with a 42 and 22 record. And then next we got Brayden, who is 40 and 24. So 2 wins behind me.
Games back,
and then I got you at 39 and 25. So you're right. We're all close.
All right, I'm
you're
close.
1 behind Brayden,
I'm back,
and you're 3 behind me. We're still it's still a tight race. Yeah.
Honestly, as long as I'm not the last guy, that's not the end of the world.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
Right now, I'm chasing Brayden. But yeah, I definitely made a comeback with some of those picks I had this past week. So we'll see if they pay off again this week. But
yeah, we'll see.
If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to follow us on all our other socials on Instagram. Check us out. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Shoots.
Shoots.